Hey, how's it going everyone? ZookeeperChris here with another Planet Zoo video. Today, the day that I am recording this video, is the anniversary of Planet Zoo's launch. And with that, I wanted to take a look back at where the game has come from, where we are now, and where we may be going as we look towards the future. I'll leave timestamps in the description below if you'd like to skip around. Now let's get into it. It's been an entire year since Planet Zoo launched. During that time, we've seen 3 DLC releases, which started with the Arctic Pack. With this pack, 4 new animals were added, along with over 200 new scenery pieces. Planet Zoo also included 2 new scenarios in this DLC. I remember when the Arctic Pack was first announced, I had some mixed emotions. While I was excited to see some new animals, I also found the timing of the DLC to be a bit questionable. It seemed way too soon after the initial launch of the game to be asking the community to pay even more money for a DLC. I couldn't help but wish that those animals were just included with the base game, or maybe even a free release for the holidays. Timing aside, it did bring a ton of great building pieces, as well as one of my favorite animals, the reindeer, but also one of my least favorite animals in the game, the polar bear. I mean, come on, polar bears do not need that much space. About 3 to 4 months after the Arctic DLC, Planet Zoo announced their South America pack in April. I remember so many people at the time thought that this would be an Australia DLC, especially with that country being in the international news so much at the time due to the wildfires that were affecting so many lives. The South America pack introduced 5 new species and over 250 new scenery pieces. This was my very first DLC purchase that I made for the game. I love the Stone Temple pieces and, of course, the majestic, legendary llama. At this point, the community started to better understand the DLC release patterns for the game, and we knew that in about 3 to 4 months, another one would be coming. Or would it? 4 months passed, and many of the community members were beginning to wonder how much of an impact the current pandemic was having on the development of the next DLC. Some even started to speculate that maybe something big was on the horizon. However, as we now know, that was not the case. In late August, the Australia pack was finally announced. This honestly was my favorite DLC. I mean, how could you not love those adorable baby koalas and those baby kangaroos popping their heads out of their mother's pouches? One thing that I was not expecting was how quickly the hype for this pack died down. Within 1 to 2 weeks of the DLC launching, it seemed like the vibe of the community really started to change. This leads me to where we are now. On today's anniversary of the game, things feel very somber. Maybe it's just the communities I hang out in, but overall the community seems to feel very let down and disappointed. I think many people were really hoping for so much more on today's anniversary. While we did get many cool facts and giveaways on the Planet Zoo socials, where's the appreciation for those who've been playing the game since day one? Would it have been so difficult to maybe add a birthday cake enrichment item for everybody to have? It's something we do all the time in real zoos to celebrate animal birthdays. Or what about a big birthday cake scenery item with a 1 on it? Surely it would have been possible to put something new in the game, big or small, anything to commemorate the anniversary. Or maybe what some of the community really wants is more transparency. What if a statement was released letting us know what they would have liked to do for the anniversary, and maybe why they couldn't do it? Maybe it was due to some technical barriers, maybe it was some logistical problem due to them working from home still. Transparency can be a double-edged sword, but I think when done right with the proper messaging, a game developer can really benefit from being open and honest with their community. At this point, I think the community is just really hoping for something game-changing to come next. Not just new animals and scenery items, but brand new game mechanics. Flighted birds and aviaries, aquatic animals that can freely swim in water and dive, zookeepers that show more interaction with their animals, educators that could stand at podiums or maybe even take guests on guided tours throughout the park. There are so many great ideas out there for what could be added to the game. Ideas that have so much more depth than what we've seen so far. I really hope to see Planet Zoo push the envelope sooner than later. I think many members of the community will be looking towards this next update very closely, maybe even deciding if it's time for them to take some time away from the game. One thing that I think is important to recognize here is that things in game development are much often easier said than done. On top of that being the case, the developers are also still working from home during this pandemic, so who knows how much that may be affecting their process. I don't think anybody should be angry or upset with them. Sometimes I wonder if maybe the majority of the development team actually wants what we want. What if there's some small team of people in suits at the very top of the company that just don't agree with these ideas? Situations like these are often so much more complex than we usually think about on the surface. So I think it's important for us not to get too upset or bothered at any one particular person or group of people for what may or may not come in the future. Looking forward, I do still remain hopeful for the game. I know that the developers of Planet Zoo love what they do and want nothing more than for people to enjoy their game. For now, there's not much more we can do other than wait. All games have their highs and lows. Don't forget, it's not a crime to take a break from a game and try something different or new. Whenever you start to feel the urge to jump back in and build a mountain from a little hill, Planet Zoo will still be there waiting for you, along with all of your beautiful animals. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out and watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button underneath. It really helps out the channel, and subscribe if you have not done so yet. We release Planet Zoo videos every week here, and as always, if you have any questions about what it's like being a real zookeeper, or you just want to chat with me live, you can find me over at twitch.tv/ZookeeperChris every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 AM EST, so be sure to head over there and drop a follow. The link can be found in the description below. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, stay wild.